take a look at this chicken. Nice and crispy and juicy. And that Alfredo, no cream, no milk. Delicious. Today we're doing a real deal Italian Alfredo with crispy chicken cutlets. Super simple, super satisfying. You ready? Let's cook. For this recipe, I'm using 2 medium skinless and boneless chicken breasts. I'm just going to pat them dry using a couple paper towels. Then with a sharp knife, I'm slicing them down the middle or butterflying them. I'm not cutting all the way, leaving them attached in the center. And then I'll do the same with the other one too. Next, I'm getting a freezer bag or any food storage bag will work. Then pour in some olive oil. This is going to help the chicken to spread when I pound them. And this is also going to keep my cutting board clean too. Place one of the chicken breasts inside and make sure it's flat and spread out in a bag. Begin pounding until it gets to a nice even thickness all around. This is the key to quick and even cooking it. That looks about right. I'll do both of them the same way. Then season the chicken with just some salt and black pepper. Now I'll prep my breading station. First, about 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour into a large bowl. And make sure we season it with salt and pepper too. Everything gets seasoned. In the second bowl, I'll get about a cup's worth of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. There's no need to add salt and pepper in this one. And for the third bowl, I'll crack 1 egg and add a couple of tablespoons of water to help loosen up the yolk. And of course, don't forget to season this with salt and black pepper. And then just whisk it until it's all scrambled. Now I'll set up the flouring bowl, followed by the egg in the middle and the breadcrumbs on the side. Take the first chicken breast and dredge it in the flour, getting it completely covered. Tap off any excess, and now dip it into the egg. Let it drip off, and then right into the breadcrumbs, making sure to get it completely coated. Then tap off any extra, place it on a plate on the side, and do the same with the other piece of chicken. There's no need to double dip for this recipe. You're going to want just a light coating on this chicken. Now would be a good time to get the water going on the stovetop for the pasta. Then in a large deep skillet over medium heat, I'm getting about 1 cup of olive oil, or enough to cover the entire bottom of the skillet, no more than about a 1/2 inch deep. Then add a couple of pads of butter, about 1 to 2 tablespoons worth. When you start to see the oil bubble, it's ready for the chicken. Lay the chicken down away from you in case it splashes, moving it around a bit and pressing it down to flatten. I'm going to add in the second piece here and do the same. Let the chicken cook undisturbed for a couple of minutes. Then give it a flip. You should see some great coloring and browning. This is what you want. And because these were pounded down pretty flat, they'll cook super quick. After a couple of minutes, they're ready to come out of the oil bath. Place them on a plate with some paper towels to absorb any excess oil. And take a look at what a beautiful crust they have. By this time, the water should be boiling. Don't forget to salt your water at this point with about 1 to 2 tablespoons of sea salt. The pasta I'll be using today is semolina linguini. And when you drop it in like a cooking pro, you know this dish is going to be something special. The pasta is going to take about 12 to 14 minutes to cook al dente, so I'll grate the cheeses at this time. First up is the Parmesan. I'm using the smallest holes in my grater for this. The smaller pieces will melt much easier in the Alfredo sauce. I'll need about 1 cup of this cheese. I like to keep my cheese separate so that I only use what I need. The next cheese is Pecorino Romano, which is a sheep's milk cheese and a bit saltier flavor, so I'll only use about a 1/2 cup of this cheese. Now back to the stovetop. I cleaned out the skillet and turned the heat to low. Drop in a couple of pads of butter, maybe just a few more. 1 more. Okay, just 1 more. Now get your pasta into the skillet and coat it with the melted butter. And remember, not to throw out the pasta water. You'll need it to make the sauce. Get about half of the Parmigiano and Romano grated cheese into the pasta. and add about 2 ladles of the hot pasta water. Then begin vigorously mixing the pasta. As the pasta water gets absorbed, add in more cheese and more pasta water and keep mixing. And if you're brave enough, tossing it will work faster. After a few minutes of mixing, tossing like a mad person, you see the creamy, cheesy Alfredo sauce forming. And if you need to loosen it up more, just add another ladle of pasta water as needed. Now, getting this Alfredo pasta onto a plate is putting a smile on my face because I know how delicious this is. So I'm making myself a heaping plate of it and then sprinkle some parsley on top. Let's not forget the juicy, crispy chicken breast we made. I like mine on top of my pasta, so I'm cutting it into slices, and look how juicy this chicken came out. And I just slide it over the top of the pasta dish. And to finish it off, don't forget to add some of that creamy Italian Alfredo sauce over the top. And remember, we made it without any milk or cream. And you can use any kind of flat pasta here you like. Linguini, fettuccine, spaghetti, any kind of long pasta works really well. So if you love easy flavor-packed meals, smash that like button in the comments section. Let me know if you're going to be making this Alfredo, this real Italian Alfredo. Remember, keep it tasty, simple, and never overcomplicated. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.